So I want to talk about 6 books, okay, that had the biggest impact in helping me overcome, the limiting beliefs of that were stopping me from becoming successful. Okay, so I want to give you these 6 books and give you some of the ideas and some of the philosophies that has changed my life. Okay, in helping me see life differently, and as I was able to see life differently, I was able to attract, success into my life, I believe. Okay, so the first book it's one of the famous books written by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich. Okay, so I think the title says it all: Think and Grow Rich. So in this book, Napoleon Hill talks about, how you need to change your state of mind. Right? He talks about how to have a definiteness of purpose in how are you gonna make that money, and also he talks about the part I like is, he talks about gathering people around as your advisors who can help you achieve your success. Okay, and the book talks mostly about the power of the mind and how you need to, you know, um, control your subconsciousness, that it's able to help you attract success. Okay, and the second book, it's called Rich Dad Poor Dad, also a very famous book by Robert Kiyosaki. So this book, guys, changed my life like big time. Okay, and what I like is it's how Robert Kiyosaki shows us the the different belief systems of his rich dad versus his poor dad. Okay, and how they looked at money differently, and how that simple act was able to make his rich dad the richest man in Hawaii, and was able to keep his poor dad poor and eventually unemployed. One of the things he speaks about is assets and liabilities, and how the rich always acquire assets, and how money or wealth is built through assets, not through work. Like we always like to, you know, um, substitute time with money, but with assets, you you don't need to substitute time with money. Okay, your assets can make money even though you don't put in you don't have to work every day at it. Okay, and I like the way he helps us understand this. He says like an asset, it's like a seed that you plant, and it becomes a tree. And once it's a tree, it can bear as many fruits as it wants, and you can pluck off those trees. You can pluck off the fruits without even working on the tree itself, because the tree now is big enough to take care of itself. And he looks at assets the same way. He says when you focus your efforts in building assets, that's what they will do. They'll get to a point where they'll pay all your bills. But what's amazing about assets is, even after paying all your bills, even after buying all the nice things for you, your assets will still make more money. That means you make money without even working. Okay, and I thought for me that's the most powerful thing. Okay, so he helps us understand, like in life, you need to focus your effort in building assets, and you need to know the difference between assets and liabilities. And he also tells us that most accountants do not know the difference. That's why most of them are struggling financially. But that for me, that was a huge thing. That's why I've aligned my life in such a way that I only build assets. Okay, things that can take care of me forever. Okay, and he gives some very, very powerful examples of assets that he has built and assets that you can build, so that they'll be able to make you money well into the future. Okay, and the third book, that changed my life was the 4 Hour Work Week. Okay, by Tim Ferriss. Now, this book, man, this guy challenges a lot of the things that we always say, it ought to be. Because one of the biggest questions he asks is, why is it that everybody across the world has to, eh, we all do different kinds of work, but for some weird reason, we all need to work from 9 till 5. It doesn't make sense. How come everybody needs the same amount of time to do all these kinds of work, right? And he says, you can take that time and do your work in 4 hours or sometimes less. And you know, um, he has taught me some powerful ways on, on. I think for me, he has taught me how to become more efficient with my time, and how to look at things that will make you money versus things that will just keep you busy. And also, he spoke about automation and outsourcing, because now my secret weapon in my life is outsourcing. It's giving other people the work that it's not important, and I only do the important works, and it takes me less time, and I'm able to be at home the whole time and take care of my kids. At the same time, it doesn't affect how much money I make. You know, Thanks to Tim Ferriss, man, this was a game changer for me. Okay, so that's the 4-hour work week. And I think Tim speaks about how to maximize profit in your business without having to work too hard. How to work less and make more money. That's crazy. I've tested some of these ideas, and they've made me a lot of money, man. Like, Tim is just amazing, man. And the fourth book I'd like to recommend, it's one of the books that, you know, I don't know, it has had a huge impact in my life. It's called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Okay, this book, guys, man, man, the impact this book has had in my life, I can't express it, guys. So what Malcolm Gladwell speaks about in this book, it sort of helps us understand what success is, and helps us see how we have always misunderstood what success is. you know just to summarize it, he tells us that successful people did not become successful because they are smarter than the rest of us, because they have certain attributes that we do not have, or certain talents. He says that's not the reason why. They became successful because of opportunities that life presented to them. He goes through many examples of showing us that how the people we think they are geniuses of the world, actually they're not. They got to that place because life gave them opportunities that some of us did not have access to. Okay, I'll make an example. He speaks about Bill Gates, which is, everybody says Bill Gates is a genius, right? But he shows us that, if you look at the life of Bill Gates was, he was given opportunities that most kids his age did not get. Okay, for example, Bill Gates was born from a wealthy family. His father was a wealthy lawyer. Okay, and that gave him access to go to private schools, for example. And the private school that Bill Gates was taken to, it was the only private school in the world that had access to a computer. And Bill was able to learn programming as a result. Okay, and later on, the school ran out of money because running computers was like extremely expensive. So what happened is Bill Gates, they used to sneak at the Washington University at night, and then they would just program through the night. And and what's even more crazy is, you know, um, some entrepreneurs actually hired them as kids to do coding for them. I think it was for the payroll software. you know um, it's crazy, like the opportunities that Bill was given before he was even 21. He had many hours under his belt of programming. That's why when opportunities presented themselves, he was ready to take them, because life has prepared him in so many ways. So the book basically talks about two things. It says, like, you need opportunities in life. Secondly, you need to work harder than most people. And Malcolm shows us how the super successful had these two things working for them. So for me, this is how it has changed my life. I've understood the power of opportunity in life. That is why I always put myself into places where I receive opportunity. I receive the best coaching. I receive the best mentors. I receive access to the best to the best knowledge. For me, my belief system is knowledge is power. Okay, and you need to have access to that knowledge. I'm willing to pay whatever it takes to get that knowledge, because I know knowledge is what will get me ahead in life. So it has helped me to see the power of opportunity, and I know that I have, you know, the responsibility to put myself into places and and to plug myself into peoples who can help me get ahead in life. And thanks to Malcolm, he has helped me realize that. That's why I work so hard in making sure that the people I keep close in my life are those who can get me ahead. I'm very strict on that. Okay. Um, the next book, book number 6, it's by Stephen Covey, Seven Habits of Highly Successful People. Okay, also this book, guys, it has changed my life big time. Okay, it talks about the 7 habits of what makes people of 7 habits that all successful people have. The first one I like. You know, it talks about the importance of taking responsibility. It's one of my core beliefs. It's like, You need to take responsibility. You need to be proactive. That means you need to decide. You need to know that any outcome you want in your life, you are responsible to make it happen. You cannot wait for somebody to do it for you. It talks about putting first things first. It's all about better managing your time, better managing your focus in life. And the last one, it talks about synergy or sharpening the sword, or you always have to get better and improve and improve and improve. This book, guys, it's full of nuggets, man. And the last book is, see, this book, what's crazy about this book, it's free. You can Google it right now. You can get it for free. It's called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. When I read this book, guys, I couldn't believe it. Like, whoa, man. This book is free, but it's one of the most powerful books I've ever read. Okay, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. So this book talks about the power of the mind. Okay, how your mind affects your health, how your mind affects your circumstances, how your mind affects your income, and how by just embracing the right line of thinking, you can attract all that you want in your life. That's it. This book, guys, it's beyond amazing. So, guys, these are the 6 books I believe helped me overcome some of the limiting beliefs in my life and be able to reach the success that I would not have otherwise reached in my life if I did not embrace some of the philosophies read in these books. Okay, I like the fact that, guys, today, guys, and I'm the crazy guy. I'm the crazy guy that when everybody goes to work, I sit at home and take care of my kids. But month end, I bank more than everybody banks. And the reason for that is because of these books, guys. They have changed my life. And and hopefully, guys, you can also check out the books, and maybe they will have some impact in your life. I'll see you in the next video.